All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol Nndm, Nano Dimensions. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And before we jump into this chart, I want you guys to be aware that I have a Twitter account now. It's going to be a great source to go ahead and see what I'm watching, what's coming up on my screener, and let you guys be aware of it. You can go ahead and comment in it, retweet it as they say. And also I will use it as a form of notification, notifying you guys when I post certain videos that YouTube is not notifying anymore, right? Because I only get a certain cap on how many videos get notified per day. And the ones I believe you guys are usually looking for, I don't want you guys to oversee it. And that way you guys don't miss a single video. And by the click of a button, you can retweet it, share it with your friends, share the insight, and we can have more investors involved in the comments talking about their investing sentiment and how they see this chart. So it's going to be awesome. You guys that followed Nndm videos that I do and all my videos daily, I highly recommend joining the Twitter because it's going to become a place where we're going to engage in different conversations about stocks overall. So, Nano Dimensions. Nano Dimensions is right now looking a little bit serious. We're going downwards, and we have some very key points to look at. Now, as it's going downwards, I want every single investor to be aware that ARK Invest continues to buy. I look forward to seeing how that makes you feel as an investor. I believe a lot of people are going to say it reassures them that there's not just hope and that's not speculation, but that there's an analysis being done by ARK Invest's team to make this decision that there's more room, right? I think that's what I see when this is happening, and I look forward to seeing what it is that you see and feel when that happens. I also want you guys to stay tuned till the end of this video because I do have a stock that I want you guys to add to your watch list. And no, it's not skills. I've been talking about it in the last two videos. And now we have another new one that I highly recommend doing more due diligence on. I did a full video on it. I'm going to post it later today. And I look forward to seeing your comments once you find out what stock it is and how you feel about that. And if you've heard anything about that, or what are your thoughts? Did it surprise you, or was it something you could have probably expected? But skills, I did a full video on it, and I'm going to continue to follow it. And we're going to talk about that in this video as well. So Nndm broke through support, right? And 50-day moving average is catching up to the support. So that means this is a lot lower now. It's at 847. So we have new support levels to keep in mind. And I want us to look at real quick. We're going to kind of break this down really fast so that we can jump into other information in this video. But we're currently sitting at 822, a slight recovery from the lows of 809, right, at 4 p.m. And this is after market hours. But I want us to see here the lows. That's the most important point. 766. We're getting pretty close to that. If that gets broken through, Nndm could be on to downward spiral. I want you guys to keep that in mind. It could be on its way to a downward spiral. And if it does recover from that, the next resistance level that we want to keep in mind is up here at 898. Then comes 947, and then comes up here at 999, which is basically $10 before even worrying about 1048. All these points are very important, but this stock has been in a subtle downward trend. I'm not saying it's a red flag. I'm not saying that the chart has been completely destroyed, but this chart definitely has to hold itself up from 766, because if not, the next support level is down here at 680. And then now we're going back over to this area where it was kind of hanging out sideways, slightly moving upwards before this run. So there's some important things to see here, what's going on with Nano Dimensions. So we need to watch these numbers carefully, closely, and analyze the behavior truly of the stock moving forward. So 766, very important, but before getting there, 789 is our first support level, okay? That's the lowest point reached in today's run downwards, and we need to watch that carefully. If that gets crossed, it could get deeper into bearish territory. Now, for the bulls, they definitely need to break through 826. You want to watch that carefully. If that gets broken through, does not signify or guarantee that the bulls have gained control, but it is one step closer for the bulls to get to the 50-day moving average of 847. So we need this to be broken through, but it does not guarantee the bulls getting back into bullish territory. We need to keep that in mind and pay close attention to how the stock is doing at that point. Now, let's go ahead and see how ARK Invest took a larger stake in their position from yesterday to today. So here's ARK W, 3,685,268 shares, and ARK W today is 3,690,297 shares. So they went up. They went up on shares. They went up a total amount of about, you would say, 5,000 shares, right? From 685 to 690, 5,000 shares. Their market value went down by 2 million. So anyone in their right mind would only add shares if they believe that their market value is going to be worth more for adding those 5,000. Now, they're a little hesitant here on the ARK W, which I find interesting. Very, very hesitant. I find that very interesting. And then Skills, which I wanted to talk about briefly here in this video, is added, but just a few hundred. It's 462,019 shares, and then it's 650. Like they just added like almost 60, like 641 shares. I don't know, or 31 shares, excuse me. I don't know what the purpose is for that and what they were trying to do, but they added very little here to these two. But focusing in back on Nano Dimensions, it was only 5,000 out of the million shares that they have. I found that interesting. Now here is ARK Invest ETF ARKQ. Here they have 5,008,856 shares. When we move over here, they still took a small position, but it's a little bit larger, right? They went up by basically 60,000 shares when you think about it, or 60,000 and some change, 65,000 to be exact. Now the market value went down by 1 million. So this one, their average cost is kind of close to the cost of the market, and they went up by a total amount altogether collectively 70,000 shares. That's not that bad, but they were a little hesitant, and this is actually going down. Usually, as an investor, you would load up on shares when it's going down, and they were a little bit more hesitant than they have been in the last couple of days. So the good news is their share count went up. They're actually adding more as it's going down. I look forward to seeing your guys' comments down below on how you feel about this, and how do you feel about the stock overall, like what's going on. Do you think this can bounce back from these lows that it recently reached? Or do you think this is going to continue to go in the downward direction closer to 750 and then start to bounce back up? I mean, that's something to keep in mind and pay close attention to and be open to according to how the stock is already reacting and creating this downward trend. Now, ARK Invest continues to buy. That says some bold statements, as we always say, but they were a little hesitant. They weren't buying hundreds of thousands of shares, and in one of them, they only added 5,000 shares. Kind of doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I would add more shares to the one below 3 million than the one with 5 million, but then the one with 5 million is in its true sector, and then the other one's innovation, next generation internet, and it's like at the bottom of the list, and they're being a little hesitant with that one. I want to see them load up thousands of shares on that one. I mean, they have loaded up, don't get me wrong, over time. They're already up almost 100,000 shares on that one. But it's a little bit more hesitant than they usually act with ARKQ. And if they doubled up their position, I wanted to see them consistently double up hard on one end and on the other end. Not reflect exactly the same, but be pretty close. So we need to watch for that. This is going downwards. You need to pay close attention to these supports, all investors watching. And for those of you that have made it this far, I want to share with you guys the ticker symbol that you need to add to your watch list. I did a full video on it. So if you comment down below, I'm going to personally share the link with you. And if you join in on the Twitter and you follow me, you may see it there because I will post it there for everyone to be aware of it, because there won't be notifications sent out. I maxed out already on YouTube, and that way you guys won't miss that video. It's going to be very informative, and the ticker symbol is Walgreens. If you want to start doing due diligence and research on that now, you're more than welcome to. There's going to be some topics in that video you may agree with or disagree with, or it might actually open your perspective to something new that you may have not realized before. I came across it just looking at the chart, looking at the time frames, and it just seems to make sense. It's not guaranteed that that is the truth and that is the way it works, but I found it very interesting. I look forward to sharing it with you. There are some information to present day that's going to form catalysts moving forward due to the fact of what Walgreens does and what sector it's in, but I look forward to sharing that. Comment down below if you want to receive that link, or join in on the Twitter, because I will be posting it there so that you guys can go ahead and receive that information by getting notified through a tweet, as they call it, and you guys can retweet it or Twitter down below in the comments. I'm new to it. I'm excited about it. We'll see how that works. And if you're a first-time viewer and investor, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Don't forget to click on the bell and share this with your friends and community so that you guys don't miss a single video. They can receive it, and hit that like button to let me know you watch this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.